So recently I had a man mansplain to me the idea of a foodie call, which was a term that I had not heard before. And what a foodie call is, presumably, is when a woman goes on a date with a man just to get a free meal. And I had to explain to this guy that that doesn't happen. No woman invests the time and money and energy and the potential risk to her safety.
I don't go on dates just for the food. Let's see if that's true. Actually, the lie detector test determined that was a lie. It's a foodie call. Yeah, that's right. And this says a third of women admitted to going on at least one foodie call. Not too surprising, that's associated with narcissism. And I share this because I got asked this question yesterday. Barry, do men ask women on dinner dates anymore? Which I replied, yes, they absolutely do. But ladies, instead of getting defensive, I just wanted to share this with you. So the next time you're wondering why you're not getting asked on a dinner date, just realize there's a good chance that 1/3 of these women are ruining it for you. I'm not sure who needs to hear it, but leading a man on just so you can get a free meal, probably not the best thing to do.
So do you know anyone that's ever experienced a foodie call?
I don't know. Maybe I've experienced one. I don't know. How do I know? They haven't told me if they have.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I haven't in my personal experience, but I mean, it's one of those things like when you're dating and it doesn't work out, like there's a million reasons why it doesn't work out. Could it be a foodie call? Sure. Could it not be? Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know. In terms of a foodie call actually being a real thing, I 110% do believe that. In terms of like people saying like, oh, dinner date, like if you really like someone, it shouldn't matter what kind of date you take them on. Like obviously you don't want someone to take you to McDonald's or to like KFC or like something that's like super basic, but like having to go on like a fancy dinner date for the first date is, I mean, I just don't see why that's like a big thing.
Yeah, and go back to your question. I don't think I've ever personally had someone around me tell me that they were a victim of a foodie call, or a woman that's a friend of mine who said they went on a foodie call. Actually, that is not true. I have had women tell me that they've gone on dates just for the food because they weren't really feeling the guy that much or whatever. Oh. And the guy was very persistent in his mind, but to her, he was like, I guess annoying maybe. And she's like, you know what? Let me just go out and get a free meal out of it. So yeah, I mean.
You know what? Now that you frame it like that, I have. But instead of them describing it as like a foodie call, it's like, I was bored.
Well, yeah, they didn't use the term foodie call.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
what it is. Like, I'm bored.
Yeah, exactly.
So recently I had a man mansplain to me the idea of a foodie call, which was a term that I had not heard before. And what a foodie call is, presumably, is when a woman goes on a date with a man just to get a free meal. And I had to explain to this guy that that doesn't happen. No woman invests the time and money and energy and the potential risk to her safety in order to get a free meal from anyone. A date is no different from like going to a comedy club. You want the act to be good. You want to enjoy yourself in order to make all of your investment worth it. And presumably on a date, you want to find someone compatible with you. So if you're a guy who has been out on a date with a woman and she ghosted you afterwards, it isn't because she was in it for the free meal. It means that she just didn't like you and that it's easier and safer to just not talk to you again, because she would have to either sleep with you or see you again in order to prove that she wasn't just in it for the free meal, which of course we can all pay for ourselves. It's so funny to me how much women are told over and over again, he's just not that into you. And that's the kind of thing that we are supposed to absorb and accept and move on without a second thought. But when a woman just didn't like you enough to see you again, it has to be because she wanted a free meal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When people have arguments like that, like, oh, well, I've never seen it, there's no way that it could happen. It just, I don't know. It always kind of like puzzles me. Just because you haven't experienced it or you don't know anyone who's experienced it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Like how she could just draw this conclusion that like there's no women that ever do it, even though we just played a clip of a guy explaining that a lot of women admit to doing it. Like, and then can we please throw away this word man explaining? Like, I think it's like literally the dumbest, most sexist thing that people say. Like, man, like, what is that?
Yeah, I mean, the mansplaining thing is a bit
Super
annoying.
crazy.
It's used by a certain type of people. I'll propose this to you guys. Let me know what you think. I think that if you're in a friend zone, every time you go out with your friend, you're on a foodie call.
Ooh.
Because you know there's nothing coming from it. Ooh. You hope there is. You're in her orbit. You're like, oh, I want to be with her. I'm going to keep trying. Maybe one day she'll give me a chance.
What if you don't pay for the food?
How often is that going to happen? Not often. Maybe on your birthday, she might buy you something. But other than that, you're paying for it. Y'all go out, y'all have fun.
For your friend?
Okay. You'll take pictures for her. She'll make sure you're not in the photo, or maybe she will because you're just her friend. And she'll get dressed up and look nice, and she'll get the food paid for by you because you're her friend, and you get nothing from it. It's a foodie call if you're a friend. So if you're in a friend zone, just consider yourself perpetually foodie called.
Yeah, if you pay for the food, that's nasty work.
But I'm sure most of these dudes that are friend zone pay for the food.
That's wild.
Every now and then, maybe they might go 50-50 or something. Maybe I just don't see.
Because that's kind of crazy. Listen, if it's your girl and you pay for the food, obviously that's fine. Yeah,
that's fine.
I mean, that's fine. But if it's your friend, like if I have a girl as a friend, I treat her just like it's a guy as a friend.
Yeah.
We go in Dutch. Like you're paying for yourself.
Right.
Like I'm not paying for you.
Yeah, no, that's how
I mean,
you think. That's how I think.
Like special occasions, like oh, it's your birthday or something like that, or you gotta. Because I want to say it's not raised. What's it called? It's not raised. Like when you got promoted or something like that. Like okay, yeah, shout out to you. I'll pay for your meal. But
Special
like
occasions, yeah.
you know, me and you are just friends. Like no, I'm not paying for your meal.
No, I agree with you on that. I just think that most guys that are in that zone, they probably don't think that way. They're probably still trying to win her over. Because I'm approaching it from the standpoint or the perspective of he thinks that eventually he's going to be, if he likes her, secretly likes her. If he really just looks at her as just a friend, then yeah, I agree. She'll probably they'll go Dutch. But if he's like in the back of his mind hoping that things go further.
But I'm not a fan of that either. I think guys who do that are sneaky. Like I think that like that's the worst way to do it. It's like you're doing it through the back door. Like
yeah, I don't agree with it either.
I got to experience somebody doing something called a foodie call. What it is where a girl will randomly hit a guy up to buy her a bunch of food, either on a date or just randomly out of the blue. In this case, it wasn't somebody random. It was somebody I briefly had a romantic engagement with.
I don't believe you.
Shut up. Let me tell a story.
Sadly, she misconstrued my acts of kindness as being an unwillingness to be assertive as well as excessive need to accommodate. Basically, I was being nice and paid for her date. Anyway, she showed a willingness to reconcile with me, which I decided to entertain to see what she wanted. Next thing I know, she's hitting me up to pay for a king's banquet of food, which is no, not happening. She tried to get me to order a bunch of fucking pizzas, steak, and other things that came up to around $200 through DoorDash. Not happening. I promptly blocked her. Now, let's reverse the genders here. If I were to do that to her, that would be called trying to use her and manipulate her, which it would be. I find aggravating and can't compute why. Like, what made it okay in her mind to do that? Did it make me angry? Yes, it made me furious. And I still am very furious about it. As well as disgusted too. Think that's all you viewed me as is just something you can play with and hit up for money whenever it suits you. Not happening.
Y'all Batman, any y'all Batman fans in our comment section? If you're a Batman fan, who does he remind you of?
Yo, shut up.
Who does he remind you of?
Shut the hell up. Yo, shut up.
Who does he remind you of?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't know the penguin went on.
Oh
foodie
my
calls.
gosh, this is bad.
I'm just saying.
Bro, leave him alone.
I'm leaving him alone.
He's telling a story.
Listen, I'm pretty sure he had all the food she asked for in his house already.
Oh my god.
I'm chilling.
Are you body shaming?
No, I can't even see the man's body. What do you mean? Why do you think I'm body shaming? You can't see his body.
Are you head shaming?
No. I'm gonna go back to why would you think I'm body shaming when you can't see his body? How about that? Answer that question.
Because we can all follow the clues. The clues. We can all see the clues.
Okay, go ahead. What do you think about this?
What do I think about this? It's obviously that he's a little awkward, right?
No, he's not awkward to me.
He's a little awkward.
Not really.
I'm not gonna go too much into him, but I mean, guys, when you have some kind of how do I word it? So I want to make sure I'm not saying something that's too out of pocket. But okay, when you have an obvious deficiency, there are some people out in the world that are gonna take advantage of it, unfortunately. And it's obvious that this guy is not in the best shape right now. I don't know about how his finances look like. His finances could be fine, but he's obviously not in the best shape. Probably doesn't have a whole bunch of options. So when people view you as someone that might be on the desperate side or might not have whole lot of options, then they're more likely going to take advantage of it. But you know, one thing I will say that's good about him is the fact that like he realizes it. He's got enough confidence to be like, well, I'm not going to take that, because there's some guys that are in his position that would have just paid for the food.
Why do you assume he's deficient? What do you think he's deficient in?
Yo, shut up, man. Shut up.
No, that's actually.
Shut up.
No, I'm being real.
Up.
Like, you just saying because he might be a bit hefty that's what it is, or are you saying no? I'm missing. Or are you saying because other things, like mentally? I'm just curious. All right, I'll say this. This guy seems like he's all there. Is what I'm trying to say. He doesn't seem like he has a deficiency. No, I'm not trying to cook right now. I'm saying I think he's all there. I think he's an intelligent guy. He recognizes that the woman, his ex, is trying to use him for food. He wasn't with it. And I commend him for that. I don't know why you think I'm joking. I'm serious.
I hate you.
Why do you think I'm joking? I'm being serious.
I really hate you, yo.
I'm being serious. I think that he understands what's going on. He's hip the game, and he's like, I'm not gonna let this happen to me. That's why he's, So, hey, shout out to this guy for not being a victim of a foodie call. Put it that way.
All right, decision makers. Let us know whether or not you think it's a good idea to be on a foodie call. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe.